there's the face plate. This turned out pretty good. Got it worked out where it's split. Put some brackets here. Hold that in. Use some screws or some rivets to put that in. Plus there's a spot back here. So that'll be solid once it's mounted in there. And then this little thing I gotta make a mount for, which it has to be strong. Plugging stuff in and out of there, we don't want it pulling off. And then this piece we're gonna get mounted in there today. Get those gauges in there, cut out some spots for a couple switches for the hazard, and try and get the rear defrost working for the window. And get that mounted, cleaned up, get these wires gone. All these wires are extra wires. There's the center gauges. He made a piece out of carbon there, fit the gauges in, and a piece that'll go up here over the switches, and putting a new seal around that thing. These never did work, so a little bit of felt, glue it down in there, should be good. And got that piece mounted in there. Made some brackets from behind, pop riveted on there. Holds it pretty good. And there's the box. Clean that up. Had to shave the sides a little bit, get it to fit in there. We'll get those vents put in there. Get the centerpiece in there and button up the wiring. Be glad to get done with that part. The dash is pretty much wrapped up. Got everything in its spot, buttoned down. Hooked up the fuel gauge. The fuel gauge is working. Touched the wire to the fuel pump, it's working. So all the lights, wipers, horns, turn signals, hazards, everything's working. There's a voltmeter, oil pressure, and then an air-fuel ratio. And I got water temp, fuel gauge up here. The heater blower motor works good. It was always kind of weak, but since we put that new wiring in there, it works on low speed, and then the high speed blows hard, so it's kind of good to get that going. And so it's time to get the headliner in it. which we're going to make the headliner. Went and got some vinyl. And hopefully the front windshield will be here this week. I would think it would be. And we'll get the doors on it. Get the doors, the glass, headliner. Got to tint the windows. Put the fenders on it, and pretty much will leave just the motor. That thing's kind of just sitting there collecting dust. That'll be next, and aha, look what's here. Made room for the GTM. Probably not quite ready to start working on it, but I wanted to get it in here. Start looking at it anyway. Got to clean off my shelf back there and get my mind wrapped around this thing again. It's going to take a little bit just to remember what I've done and where I'm at and what, you know, what to do next. But at least it's in here again. That thing is crazy wild. It's going to be cool. I'm happy with how that dash turned out and that carbon fiber in there. It looks pretty good. Got the black painted on the doors. Getting ready to put them on. We'll get the rubbers cleaned up. Put those in there first and get them bolted on. And I already did the hatch, but that's what it'll look like when you shut it. Then you don't see the blue on the inside, it's just all black. Something like that. Looks pretty sharp that way. And you don't want blue showing when everything else is black in there. Finally getting there. Doing something besides the wiring.